Feature Friday.
The freshest. Pablo and Stell get to perform live at this award show that I don't really know what it is, but it looks very impressive.
It's Shopee, which is like an online commerce store. It's kind of like here in the UK we have like Amazon. And I guess similar to eBay.
Oh, okay.
Shopee is a bit like that, but it's very popular in the Philippines. I know that because obviously we have friends from the Philippines, and let's give it a watch.
Cool.
Yeah.
I have to say, these guys are just so impressive.
They're big names, so.
They are. Cool pants, Pablo. Cool pants.
Nice.
Why is he so good?
Very impressive, that guy, always. But both as same as Pablo, very impressive, always.
They're very consistent as singers. Great freaking display of vocals for no reason, like. Nice, come on, that was so strong.
It's also mad as well how, like, people sort of just oversee. I think we discussed this when we saw Felipe doing it in the malls and stuff like that, performances. But it's not easy to sort of come out and do these types of shows just with a sort of -1 and these types of fairly demanding songs in an environment as well that's quite, not exposing is not the right word, but quite precarious just in terms of everything.
They're not, even though they have musical acts lined up and the sound engineers know that there will be live music, live singing, it's still not catered to music
specifically to music.
or completely at the disposition of the singer, which it just opposes a lot of challenges for the singer.
The dynamic,
It changes the level of effort. It changes the level of performance. It changes
feedback you get.
Yeah, it changes your whole feel of the song as well as a live vocalist. So this is rather impressive. But look how grounded he is. That particular phrase here, because we're seeing both vocalists and they have completely different approaches to singing the song, right? So they have different sections of the song, they demand different things from them. But if you pay attention closely, look at their posture. Their feet are completely stuck to the ground. They're moving from the hip upwards, so there is a lot of anchoring through the abdominal wall, through the back. Actually, their posture is very straight. They have such a great anchoring through their chest as well. And even when they're waiting around, like for example in Pablo's case, he is still grounded to the floor. You don't see him walking around or moving around, trying to fiddle with where the stage is at. And I love that because that actually gives you the absolute consistency that we're hearing here. And even though the sound quality in this particular video doesn't really do them justice, you're hearing some of the brightest parts of the song that should be very weak, that shouldn't really work that well, be the brightest parts of the song, the more recognizable. And perhaps these are the sections of the song or the performance that people at the end of the event, at the end of the award, would probably be talking about the most.
Correct.
This is really awesome.
It's very, very impressive. I love these guys, genuinely.
And look at that kinesthetic touch to the diaphragm, the esophagus. Also, the level of the -1 is quite high.
Yeah. And even, you might say that's just because of the camera recording or whoever's recording it like that, but that's what the audience was hearing anyway.
Yeah, exactly. That's what you're getting out front. You see, they're exerting a lot of energy for this. Yeah. Come on, that's so good.
You can tell Pablo was like, damn.
And he was also adjusting the level in the in-ears because I think they're having a tough time.
Such a good song, bro.
It's such a, like, it gets you in the feels.
What a performance!
Look at that anchoring. Did you see that anchoring? Okay, no, let's talk about that.
Fire.
Yeah,
You
let's
could
talk
feel it
about
like
that. You know what's crazy? They did that whole breakdown, the two of them.
On their own, yeah.
Where it usually takes a bunch of other people to keep going.
And a band,
It
takes Felipe, it takes Josh, it takes Justin as well. Like, they all play a huge part in this section of the song.
It is a ginormous section of the song, and they did such a brilliant layering of vocals, and like really they're just really allowing you to sit through that breakdown. It's so cool because look at that freaking back anchoring. That is just so great. He was pulling back so much he had to lift his foot at the end of that. That is just so great. Honestly, I love their technique. I think they are just so clean in terms of like vocal demands and vocal accuracy, but also the safety of the vocal technique. It's so freaking satisfying to watch, especially if you have studied a little bit of vocal technique like I have, and just seeing it displayed in action, not beyond the theory, beyond the hours in reading and stuff and trying to practice, seeing it on stage and how well it translates and how miraculously it works for the singer. Is so satisfying because it is like a safety blanket. But also, I think they're setting an example for the future generations of singers that will come up from the Philippines, modeling these techniques that are just so they're infallible. They really cannot be mistaken, and up until now is the best approach we've have scientifically of singing and belting correctly that can be for a long time. People can really take advantage of this.
I think as well, like they're setting, as you said, they're setting an example for not only the new gen of just traditional singers, but like in the pop industry in general. Because I think if you are a pop singer, you do require a very solid technical foundation, because you will be put in scenarios like this, especially at the beginning of your career and midpoint of your career. Once you become a diva and you're selling out stadiums, you're selling out, arenas non-stop, you can set your own demands. You can decide when to perform and when to not. There aren't that many financial issues. There aren't that many sort of responsibilities.
Or limitations.
Limitations, contractual limitations and stuff like that. So you have more control then. But in the position of from the beginning to midpoint in their career where you become established, you're going to be in environments like this without a doubt frequently. And if you don't have a strong foundation, this could literally ruin your image, and it could ruin your career like this. We've seen it happen. People are like, well, actually, she fucking sucks live, or he sucks live. I'm not going to buy tickets then. And it could have literally just been the environment was super rough. The equalization sucked. It wasn't a good day. Over-exhaustion, overwork as well, and then blam, it's a shambles.
It's crazy though, because for example, we saw Stell performing with Jamie Miller, and he apparently said the words of the netizens that he was up with a fever and really unwell.
I think it's because he said in one of the interviews. That's why everyone was saying.
Right. Yeah. So there is, and that's a very good example of what great technique can allow you to do, even with physical limitations. I think it's I just get so passionate about this because these techniques are very common in theater, but theater is not accessible and readily available for everybody. And it's not something that people talk about very often. So when you see those techniques being executed in pop or popular music by great vocalists, you kind of are like, oh my God, I'm so glad this is like a thing now, you know?
Yeah, yes.
It's so satisfying.
Very satisfying indeed.
The levels are a little crazy. And still is working his little heart off.
Because Stell was doing a ton of work, you're right. Breathe, bro.
Woo. Oh my God.
very demanding.
Thank you so much, everyone. Thank you. Thank you so much.
Yes.
Oh, she's gorge.
A short message for the Shopee fam tonight. Yes, of course. Again, I would like to thank
My God, they
Shopee
just sung.
for having us tonight, and of course to all the winners for tonight. Congratulations, and we hope to have a big family in Shopee soon. So thank you so much, and congratulations to all the winners.
I think also they did some solo stuff as well. Like I know
Right.
Stell, I got sent a video where he was doing Marvin Gaye.
Oh, cool.
I don't know what songs he did, but they sang like a few songs. So I don't know if I think they closed out with this, and that's why they
Together,
kind of
right.
asked them to
They
have a little word.
literally just stopped singing. And I was like, oh, words for the fans.
Yeah,
Go
no,
on.
no break, more and more. So part of the industry, and I think, but the thing is, people underestimate, I think, how hard that number is. That number, it's ridiculous.
Do you know
And perhaps
why-
we say this too often because a lot of the stuff we review on the channel, it's on the kind of the higher end of sort of skill level. Hence why we review it, because it ignites interesting conversations. If it was quite mid, we would just sit here and be like, well, that was all right. Not bad. You know what I mean? But so we do say that, like, a lot of the time, that was really hard. That's quite difficult to do. But I don't want that to get in the way of actual truth, which is that performance itself was probably, in level wise, that's like super hard. That's expert fucking plus level.
Yeah, it really is. And
New game plus.
it really is. It's crazy. And I just think the fact people take it for granted is because it goes well so often. People take away some of that difficulty level, just given the fact that they are able to replicate it so many times. But please do not. Please
Don't.
hold it highly in your heart.
Don't make that mistake.
Because this is incredibly difficult to do.
whether you like SB19, whether you like Stell, Pablo, any of them, just for the sake of music, like
Yeah.
if you reward this type of behavior from the industry and this type of performances and hold them highly.
Pop has a future, guys.
Correct. Aside from that, guys, let us know what you guys thought about it, and we will see you tomorrow.